Hello and welcome to Pickle's Garage. Today we're going to be once again working on the BMW. I recently went to BMW to get like a warranty thing repaired, and they did a full inspection and I got quoted $7,000 on a vehicle I drove there. So I definitely am going to be doing more of these BMW videos because I want to show you how cheap it can be to repair some of these. I know they're a little finicky at times, but in reality, nothing should cost as much as what they're quoting. This specific thing is the Kelly Ryman kit, otherwise known as the belt tensioner kit that I bought here. I bought this for $120 on Rock Auto. Once again, not sponsored by them, but I buy basically all my stuff there. So I have to give them a shout out. It's a great way to save money. But in any case, I was quoted about $840 to $900 depending on labor for just this repair. Because like I said, it was $7,000 altogether, but this line item was about $840. This, $120 on Rock Auto. So unless this takes me a week to do, there is absolutely no reason why anyone should not do this themselves. Very straightforward. So we're gonna actually start off by removing this air intake right here, and we will go from there to get more access to our belt tensioner. All right, so first things first, we're gonna remove this air intake. It is a T20 right here. Oh. And then there's another hole here, I think, just to keep this on. It doesn't actually go all the way to there. So we just pop this off like so. There we go. Set that aside. And then now you can see the belt tensioner here. This is a T60. And we're just gonna put it in the slot, pull it clockwise to get the belt off. So as you can see, there's a little like star looking bolt right here. I know it looks a little intimidating that you might not have the right tool, but honestly any 7/16, either one of these will fit right on there. It is not super tight, so you don't really have to worry about messing anything up. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. Now that I got the belt off, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this off, and then we're gonna get the whole tensioner assembly out. It's a pretty long bolt, but it is very light, you'll notice when you actually take it out. Yeah, man. There we go. And then the whole thing comes out. So, job's not done yet, but not worth $800 so far. So I guess that's what he was talking about. Just, there's probably some oil in here that is leaking pretty heavily. So bad tensioner, due for a replace. Not a big deal, not a bad repair. So there's another component here, another pulley wheel that I'm going to replace. It comes in the kit, and I just need to pop off. There's a cap on that one too. There's a cap on this pops off, but unnecessary. But I will pop off the other cap so I can expose the bolts on that one. So this is the cap I was talking about. It's on the new one. I'm sure if you had a screwdriver you could probably pop it off as well. It's just easier to use one of these tools for like interior pieces or like a mini crowbar, but it just pops right off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for the one that's still on there, as this is the new one, and then I'm going to remove this bolt and we'll throw everything back together. And then as far as location of the other pulley, it is right there. So that is what I'm going to go ahead and pop off. Maybe I can do it on video. Get some action shots. Nah, probably not, it's awkward. I'll grab that real quick. So this bolt is a little bigger. It is a 5/8, also not on there super tight. So just remember that when you are reinstalling, that you do not want to over tighten these. So just snug, and probably an extra half turn is all you're gonna need. So you could have probably done the tensioner before doing this other pulley, but I'm just getting all the bad out, and then I'll put the good stuff in. You'll notice, and I'll show you when I'm actually holding it, but the new tensioner has like a pin in it, and essentially that way you don't have to use that T60 to pull the belt out of the way. You're just going to be able to install it, line the belts up, pull the pin, and be on your merry way. So as we slowly get to that, this is a long bolt. Alright, well, oh, actually, here it comes. This is the most riveting stuff. Oop, here we go, in my hand. Also ugly, also ready for a replace. Keep in mind the washer, this one looks like it's kind of hung on there, but my new one isn't very snug, so just make sure you don't lose the washer. So I'm going to pop the new one on, put the cap in there, and then we'll move on. So wheel is a little worn. It's definitely been on there for a long time. Not necessarily bad, but might as well replace everything at the same time. So I do recommend getting the kit with a new belt and all the pulleys, okay? So just throw on the new one back on. Like I said, doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Just get snug, and an extra turn like that is more than enough. So we're good there. Let me grab the other one while my camera falls. Alright, off camera, I put the cap back on the new one. I do apologize, it was a very satisfying snap, so you have that to look forward to yourself when you go ahead and throw yours on. But we're just going to put this back in the same position. Should be kind of like a key here, just fitting it in the right spot. So, oh, there we go. And then I'll start the bolt here, which once again is 7/16. But yeah, it'll lock in place. It's got ridges and whatnot that make sure that you put it in the right way. Alright, let me flip over here. But you can see that pin right here. That is going to be eventually what we pull out once we have everything lined up. It was hot. So yeah, I definitely want to do more of these videos because, one, I mean, it's just ridiculous what these shops are charging. You've seen this. I mean, I'm sure this will end up being a 10 or so minute video, but it's probably a 5 or so minute repair. Oh, alright, so starting to get a little tension, snug, and a little extra. Okay, more than enough. So we are good there. So now we're going to go ahead and line the belts up. Like I said, you might have to look up a diagram on your own just to see. I'm gonna do my best here in a second to line it up and then tell you where I put everything. So let me cue that up and then I'll show you. I apologize if it doesn't come through. Maybe I'll grab my light real quick and we'll go from there. Okay, alright, so we got the belts on. I'm going to start from the pin and we'll go from there, okay? So, starting from the pin, I'm gonna go around the alternator, around the top of it. It's gonna zigzag over the new pulley that you just put on, right? So, around, down. It's gonna S this way, around here, okay? And then it's gonna come down underneath, okay? And it's gonna come, focus, and it's gonna come up, over, and then underneath and around your new tensioner, okay? And then it's gonna come down, and then it's gonna loop back here, okay? The last wheel. Now that is probably the hardest one to get to, just because of the bar. So I would start with that one, get a loop, maybe turn it inside out, and then slide it around, and then wrap it as it comes around, okay? And then I went from there straight across to the alternator, did my S, and then went down, and then came back up to this. So all I have to do left, or all, ugh, that was weird. All that I have left to do is to pull this pin, put back on my air intake, and then I am good to go. So certainly not worth paying, you know, upwards of $1,000 for. Definitely something I would recommend you do yourself. It probably will take you roughly 5-10 minutes at most. So yeah, not bad at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and button up the rest of it. Like I said, pretty easy, just pulling the pin, putting this back on. Normally I don't do this, but I am getting pretty close to a goal here. So, you know, if I helped you save a couple hundred or even $1,000 in showing you this, feel free to hit subscribe and like and comment if you want to. You know, it's always just been kind of a hobby for me on this, but I'm starting to get to a point where, you know, maybe I could start doing this a little bit more often with some support from the partnership program. So we'll see. We'll see where that heads. But, you know, as always, I appreciate you watching, and have a great rest of your day.